On the 7th of June 2024, in Akron, Ohio, a traffic stop for running a red light became a case study in how fast a legally armed civilian can go from doing everything right to facing 4 felony charges. 3 occupants, 1 lawfully owned firearm, an outstanding warrant nobody accounted for, and narcotics in a disputed bag, 35 minutes of body cam.
On a gray February morning in Denver, Colorado, a routine traffic stop for a broken taillight turns into a masterclass in how a partial understanding of constitutional law can systematically dismantle your legal defense. 1 stop, 3 occupants, a driver with a suspended license, and a backseat passenger absolutely convinced he knows exactly when cops can and cannot ask him questions. 38 minutes of video that end with 4 felony charges, none of them traffic-related. What happens when you're right about half the law and wrong about the other half? The stop begins at 9:47 a.m. on Colfax Avenue near the Spear Boulevard intersection. Officer Marcus Chen pulls over a 2014 Honda Civic for a non-functioning rear brake light, visible in daylight, clearly documented on the dashcam timestamp. License and registration, please. The driver hands over documents immediately. No resistance. Clean demeanor. The registration is in my wife's name. She's sitting right there. I see that. Anyone else in the vehicle? My brother-in-law in the back. He's just coming with us to the grocery store. Officer Chen returns to his vehicle for a standard records check.
I got a firearm, but I'm allowed to have a firearm.
Okay, that's fine. That's why I'm asking you. Where's your firearm at? Don't grab it. Just
I'm about to get up so you can. No, I want you to grab it. I want you to
No,
grab it. I
just tell
don't
them
want
what
this
it is.
firearm.
Don't grab it.
I'm about to lift my
On the
hips up.
7th of June 2024, in Akron, Ohio, a traffic stop for running a red light became a case study in how fast a legally armed civilian can go from doing everything right to facing 4 felony charges. 3 occupants, 1 lawfully owned firearm, an outstanding warrant nobody accounted for, and narcotics in a disputed bag, 35 minutes of body cam that end with handcuffs on a backseat passenger.
What's going on?
It's gonna be a Florida.
Where you running off for me? Why'd you run a red light?
Who the fuck ran a red light?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought
It was red. And get your ID on you?
no, I don't, but you can run my name.
All right, you got ID on you?
I used to go to the
Because he was driving the car.
I wasn't.
No.
You were. He saw
I
you.
wasn't.
Any firearms in the car?
No.
Any firearms in the car?
I got a firearm, but I'm allowed to have a firearm.
Okay, that's fine. That's why I'm asking you.
I was not driving. What the fuck? I drove to the cemetery.
Where's your firearm at? Don't grab it. Just
I'm about to
Okay, I see it.
get up so
No,
you
just
can.
tell
No, I
him,
want
just
you to
tell him.
grab it. I
No,
want you to
No,
grab it. I
just tell
don't
them
want
what
this
it is.
firearm.
Don't grab
This is where the open loop plants itself, the registration check, will reveal something about the driver that the passenger, in the back seat, will immediately seize upon as proof of police overreach, and he will be partially correct, and that correctness will become a trap. 2 minutes later, Officer Chen approaches the driver's window again. Sir, your license was suspended in 2023. Is there a reason for that? Yeah, I got behind on some fines. I was handling it. You can't drive on a suspended license. I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle. The driver complies without hesitation. He's walked back to the patrol car, positioned safely away from traffic. The second officer, Officer Sarah Reeves, approaches the passenger window. Sir, I need you to roll down that window. The backseat passenger, later identified as David Matthias, age 28, lowers the window but does not open it fully. His left hand remains visible on his lap. His posture shifts. He's already in a defensive position. What's going on? Why'd you pull us over? Broken taillight and license issue with the driver. I'm going to need ID from both front and back seat passengers. Hold on. You can't just ask me for my ID like that. Officer Reeves pauses. Her body language shows mild confusion, the kind that precedes a long conversation neither party wants to have. I need ID from everyone in the vehicle. No, you don't. I know my rights. You can only ask the driver for ID. I'm a passenger. You need reasonable suspicion to ask me for ID. I've watched a ton of law enforcement videos. I know exactly when you can and cannot ID me. Officer Reeves's facial expression doesn't change, but her jaw tightens slightly. She steps back from the window. Sir, there's a traffic violation. Everyone in the car needs to provide identification. It's standard procedure. Standard procedure isn't law. You're profiling right now. I'm not giving you my ID unless you have reasonable suspicion of a crime. You don't have that. Officer Chen, now returning with the driver, hears this exchange. He positions himself at the rear driver side door and speaks into his radio. Units in vicinity, we have a non-compliant passenger. Request additional units to Colfax at Spear. The magic words, non-compliant, backup requested. The situation has escalated from a broken taillight to a potential detention based on refusal to provide identification during a lawful traffic stop. David Mathias does not realize that he has just crossed a threshold. Colorado revised Statute 42-4-1411 requires passengers to provide ID upon demand during a traffic stop if there is reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. A suspended license in the vehicle satisfies that threshold.
I don't want to step out the car.
Okay, I'm gonna have you come out.
Why am I stepping out?
I'm gonna have you get out of the car real quick. Come here. Give me your left hand.
And you were handcuffing me?
Look, put your phone down.
You're handcuffing me?
Be detained. Come here.
What am I being detained?
Well, he'll explain it when you...
I mean, I'm saying, don't y'all have to, like, y'all have to step like,
Listen, you have a warrant for your arrest, bro.
His knowledge of constitutional law has stopped at the Fourth Amendment threshold for initial contact. He knows officers need reasonable suspicion to approach. He does not know that once the threshold is crossed, that same suspicion extends to all occupants. David, I'm asking one more time. ID. Now, I don't consent to anything. I don't consent to searches. I don't consent to ID checks without reasonable suspicion. And you don't have it just because the driver got pulled over. Officer Chen opens the rear passenger door.
Step out of the car.
You want my name, bro? I'll give you my name, bro. Like, you ain't gotta fuck with her, bro. I'll give you my name. I'll give you my name, officer. I will give you my name.
Walk back
officer.
to the back of the car. All right? Listen, besides your guys' the marijuana stuff, all that stuff.
Like I just said, I was at my brother's
Right.
grave.
Is there going to be anything else in the car? I'm trying to get you guys out of here as quick as possible.
I'm telling you, I will give you
Out
my
of the
name.
vehicle. Hands where I can see them. Am I being detained? Yes, you're being detained. Exit the vehicle. David Mathias exits slowly, hands raised, shoulders tense. His movements are careful. Too careful.
Can you grab it off my hip? Because I don't want you to feel like I'm aggressive. Here go my gun right here. Can you grab it off my hip, please? That'll make me so much more comfortable. Thank you. Now you have my firearm. Now, like I was trying to tell you, officer.
The kind of careful that suggests he's replaying a YouTube video in his head about how to act during a police encounter. He's not afraid. He's indignant. There is a difference, and it shows in how he holds his body. He's placed in the back of the patrol car. Officer Chen returns to the driver of the Honda, now also seated in the back of a second unit. Inside the police cruiser, David Mathias remains silent for approximately 90 seconds. Then he speaks. So what's the deal? Why am I being detained? You need to tell me why I'm being detained. That's the law. You can't just throw me in the back of a car without explaining why. Officer Reeves, now in the driver's seat of the patrol car, turns to face him across the seats. You refuse to provide identification during a lawful traffic stop. But I didn't commit a crime. The driver did. I'm a passenger. The driver is suspended. You're in that vehicle. You're potentially a witness. You could be a party to that violation. We need your ID to run a check. That's not reasonable suspicion. That's association-based detention. I've studied this. Fourth Amendment. Terry v. Ohio established that reasonable suspicion has to be based on articulable facts. Not just because you decided to stop someone I'm in a car with. Officer Reeves glances at Officer Chen, who is standing outside the vehicle. There is a moment of silent communication between them, the look that says, "This is going to take a while. David, I'm going to read you your rights. This is going to help you understand where we are legally. I know my rights. I watch police breakdown videos all the time."
Wait, hold on, let me talk. I just was truthful with you. You asked about the firearm. I didn't even have to tell you.
Yeah, you did.
Law, no, by law, I don't have to tell you that I have a firearm on me. No, I don't.
All right, so listen. All I need to know is that you're able to carry that firearm.
I am able to carry, but you asking me questions that's not neither here nor there.
All right, so
officer, I
what
am
is
a
your,
fucking passenger, bro. No, because why is y'all fucking... I know my laws, bro. I've been doing this. Yeah, I'm on the phone. Yeah,
Right. You just need to get your information.
You all that, bro, so don't worry about what you...
Just get your information.
Bro. I don't have to, bro. I don't fucking have to, bro. You know why I don't have to, bro? Because I studied this shit, bro. I studied all this shit. Law, all this.
I don't need Miranda. I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent right now.
See, y'all on some bullshit. Y'all asking passengers' names and shit, bro. Y'all is out of line, bro. Like, hold on, bro. I'm about to call my lawyer. Check this out. Don't even worry about it. I'll call you back. I'm about to call my lawyer. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Because I called my lawyer last time when y'all did this shit. Yeah. He got my social. He don't need none of that. He got what he needs. He got what he has my social security number. That's my whole life. He got that. He can look. He can pull everything up. Cause why they fucked up? Come on.
Officer Chen opens the passenger door of the patrol car and leans in. Miranda doesn't apply unless we're asking you questions in custody.
So you're under arrest. If you're requesting your attorney, all we have to do is put you in the car. We're going to shut the door and not have a conversation. Because we can't get your attorney here right now. And we can't do that over the phone because we don't know if he legally represents you or not. I understand that.
I have the documents and payments, invoices.
I understand all that. However, that's not how the law works. Your lawyer, like that would be if we took you down to the station. I want a lawyer for whatever, and then your lawyer comes in.
So I technically don't have the right to be. All right. Anyway, go ahead, talk to me. Just talk to me.
You want to talk?
I want to have a conversation. Are
I
you
have
going to take me to jail?
I don't know any of that. Those are going to be the officers that took you in traffic stop this car.
You just invoked silence. That's fine. But we're going to explain some things to you, and you're going to listen. Are you going to listen? David nods. Officer Chen stands outside the vehicle and begins a monologue.
Okay. So because of these circumstances, I am going to read you your rights, okay, so that you're aware of your rights. I'm not trying to jam you up in any way. I'm not trying to do anything goofy. I want you to know your rights as a citizen, okay? All right, Nicholas, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you for any question if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand those rights?
I understand that I have the right to.
Can we have?
I have the understanding that I have the right to have an attorney present while I am being questioned by you as of right now. Correct? Can I have my phone so I can call my attorney, please?
That will be critical later, not because it's legally incorrect, but because David's response to it will become admissible evidence of his own knowledge and intent. Colorado law allows officers to request identification from passengers during a traffic stop if there is a reasonable basis for suspicion. A suspended license of the driver creates that basis. You are not under arrest. You are being detained. The detention is lawful. Now, we're going to ask you some questions about the contents of the vehicle and your reason for being in this vehicle. You can answer or not answer. If you choose not to answer, that's fine. But if you choose to answer, what you say can and will be used against you. Do you understand? David Matthias stares out the window. I understand the law better than you do. Officer Chen's expression does not change. He closes the door and walks back to the initial stop scene. This exchange, this moment where David claimed knowledge superior to the officers, will be excerpted, transcribed, and used at trial to demonstrate consciousness of guilt. Not because claiming you know the law is consciousness of guilt, but because claiming you know better than the officer, combined with what happens next, creates an inference of deliberate evasion rather than principled legal objection. 45 seconds of silence inside the patrol car. Then David speaks again. So I just sit here. What happens now? Officer Reeves, in the driver's seat, answers without turning around. We're checking your information. Once we confirm you're not wanted and you don't have any outstanding warrants, you'll be released. How long is that going to take? Depends on how busy the system is. Could be 10 minutes, could be 20. Another pause. Did you see anything in that vehicle that would give you probable cause for a search? Officer Reeves turns to face him.
Now that brown Nike bag, is that your, or the green Nike bag at your feet, is that your bag?
No.
Whose bag is it?
I'm sure it's Ace bag.
Did you say disregard?
That dude who keep telling you guys that he has gun license, that's his bag.
So his bag's at your feet and in the back?
I just started driving from the fucking graveyard. He went to go see.
But you're lying because you weren't driving from the graveyard.
You're right. You're right.
All right.
So then you know that that's not my bag.
Okay, that's why I asked you. That's why he read you.
It don't matter when I started driving it. You asked me whose product it was, whose bag it was, and I just told you. I'm not lying to you.
David, you just invoked silence. Why are you asking me questions now? I'm just asking how long I'm going to be here. That's not me talking. That's talking. And now we're going to get clarification. During the traffic stop, before anyone was detained, did you observe any open containers, any marijuana smell, any weapons visible, any paraphernalia of drug use? David's face tightens. This is the moment he realizes his tactical error. He claimed Fifth Amendment rights. But that protection only works if you maintain silence. The moment you ask a question directed at law enforcement, you've broken the seal. Oregon v. Bradshaw establishes that resuming communication after Miranda invocation wipes the protection. Anything said after he broke silence is admissible. I'm not answering that. Too late. You already asked us a question about how long this would take. That reopened everything. So I'll ask again. Did you observe anything in that vehicle?
Nicholas? Alright, so you had the gun on you, that's whatever. The bag that was by you in the back seat, is that your bag?
What? It was
The brown?
bag.
It's like a brown. What about the green Nike fanny pack looking bag?
Only thing I have, bro, is this and my pants and my shirt that literally match my work pants. I have a DQ
it was in
shirt
the front. So you were driving when you left the cemetery?
I was sitting in the driver's seat at the cemetery listening to music.
Okay.
Like I was blasting my music. I watched literally, like I said, I watched y'all ride past and look right at me in my face. I was sitting at the cemetery. I'm taking videos. I took my shirt off. I sat in the driver's seat, changing the music, all that. Yeah, I'm sitting in the car's not moving. I don't think.
I don't care about
me. So
listen, if you were driving, you're driving.
I'm telling you that I wasn't though.
The patrolman's radio crackles. Information coming back from the dispatch center. David Mathias is clear. No warrants. Clean record. No holds. You're clear. You're being released. However, before you go, I need to clarify something. When I asked if you observed anything in the vehicle, I wasn't asking you to incriminate yourself. I was asking what you observed that we might have missed. As a backseat passenger, you would have seen things we wouldn't during the stop. David remains silent. Officer Chen reappears at the window.
What's the warrant?
I had a traffic warrant that I literally just was made aware of. Like when I say this morning, I mean this morning. I was sitting in my car listening to music, and outside of my house, I'm sitting outside of my car listening to music. I'm winding down. I do armed security and stuff for work. That's what I do for work. That's why I always have multiple firearms on me. I have one today. I don't have to be to work until 12 tonight. I've been to court multiple times. They set my date. When they set my date, though, I told, like, I'll be completely honest. Hey, I have a vacation that's planned. I paid for it and everything for my trip and everything. Okay, cool. Well, we can work with you. Here's this date. Here's this date. So that's what that's about. He's like, okay, I'm not going to harass you. I'm not going to bother you. You can do the arraignments is on Monday or whatever, something like that. The arraignments for traffic court. Go to court up there Monday, 8 o'clock. I told him I'd be there. Go get that taken care of. And that's really that.
You're free to go, David. Your brother-in-law is getting a citation for the suspended license. The driver of the vehicle, your sister, is also getting cited. You can call someone for a ride, or you can wait for them to be processed and released. David exits the patrol car. He walks toward the initial stop scene, where his sister is now being processed for a separate violation, one that will eventually compound into something larger, but that's her story, not his. Officer Reeves calls after him. And David, next time you get pulled over, just give your ID. It takes 30 seconds. He does not respond. What happens next occurs in the police station 68 hours later. A records check reveals that David Mathias, during the traffic stop, was asked indirectly, through Officer Chen's question about what David observed, whether he knew about narcotics in the vehicle. The sister, now separated and questioned alone, makes a statement that there were edibles in a backpack in the trunk. That backpack belongs to no one. It's community property. Under Colorado's doctrine of constructive possession, David Mathias, as an occupant who could have exercised control over items in the vehicle, is charged with possession with intent to distribute based on the quantity and packaging of the contents. He is not charged for having the edibles. He is charged for being in a vehicle where edibles were present and for failing to deny knowledge of them when given the opportunity. The stop itself was lawful. Delaware v. Prouty, cited in countless traffic stop cases, establishes that any observed traffic violation authorizes an officer to initiate contact. A broken taillight is an observed violation. The detention of the passenger was lawful under Colorado law. The identification demand was lawful. The request for information was lawful. But David's legal knowledge was incomplete. Colorado Revised Statute 42-4-1411 requires passengers to provide identification if the officer has reasonable suspicion. He knew the Fourth Amendment language from Terry v. Ohio. He did not account for the state statute that created a lower threshold than pure Fourth Amendment analysis required. He knew Miranda-protected statements made in custody after invocation. He did not know that asking clarifying questions reopens that protection. He knew the Fifth Amendment existed. He did not know that asserting it requires absolute silence. He was, in short, right about the architecture of constitutional law and wrong about its application to traffic stops in Colorado. The legal breakdown is straightforward. Officer Chen and Officer Reeves receive an A-. The stop was grounded in legitimate traffic law violation. The identification request was appropriate under state statute. The Miranda delivery occurred at the correct moment, after custody attached, not before. The follow-up question about observations was carefully worded to clarify rather than interrogate, and David's invocation was legally valid until he broke silence himself. The only deduction is minor. The officers could have been clearer about the specific state statute authorizing the ID request, which might have short-circuited David's constitutional objection. The sister receives a B. She complied throughout the stop and did not escalate. Her only deficit: providing information about the backpack during a subsequent station interview without requesting counsel. David Mathias receives a D+. His firearms, constitutional knowledge, were real but incomplete. He correctly identified that Miranda protections exist. He correctly understood that the Fifth Amendment provides a right to silence. He catastrophically misunderstood the scope of reasonable suspicion under Colorado law, the mechanism by which invoking silence can be waived through resumption of communication, and the legal consequence of claiming superior knowledge of the law to the officer conducting the stop. Everything he believed to be true was technically defensible in isolation. The totality of his actions created a legal record that will be used against him in every subsequent proceeding. 5 lessons from this stop that apply.
The drugs that were in the bag.
What drugs and what bag? I didn't have a bag, Officer Sheila.
Let's go.
Yeah, bro. Can I bond out today?
Probably. It depends on them, that's not us.
What is like, okay, so can y'all wait, before can I at least have my phone so I can get my number out of it, bro?
Dave will give you time to get numbers out of it.
No, they're not gonna do that until I get booked, bro. Last time y'all did this shit, bro, I came in here at 2 in the afternoon, bro. I didn't get booked until 6 in the morning,
I doubt
bro.
that happens.
But I swear to God,
now that if you give them a hard time, they'll probably make you.
I'm not getting, bro. I tried to give you a great time,
bro.
You still
Come
fuck
on.
me, bro.
I did not fuck you. Don't blame me. Let's go. Come on.
Come on. So the other nigga ain't going to jail? No. Oh, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all let me out. When I get out, I'm beating the fuck out that nigga, bro. Call it what y'all want. Charge whatever y'all want to charge. You know what I'm saying?
Whether you're a driver, a passenger, or someone who thinks you know more about constitutional law than you actually do, one. State statutes often create obligations broader than the Fourth Amendment minimum.
I'm a passenger. I have a firearm, yeah. I'm allowed to have a firearm.
Okay.
I mean, instead of Ohio, it is an open carry state. You don't have to.
Well,
have
you're in a vehicle, so that's not open carry anymore.
Knowing the Constitution is not the same as knowing state traffic law. Colorado Revised Statute 42-4-4011 requires identification from passengers during lawful traffic stops. Federal constitutional law does not prohibit this. State law permits it. Your knowledge of one does not protect you from the other. 2. Invoking silence only protects you if you maintain silence. Oregon v. Bradshaw makes this clear. The moment you ask a question directed at law enforcement, even a logistical question about how long something will take, you have resumed communication. Your Fifth Amendment invocation is waived. Everything said after that point is admissible. Silence must be complete, not intermittent. 3. Claiming you know the law better than the officer.
Fucking with me. So you just watched me sitting at. You was just watching me sit at my brother's graveside.
I did not see you over there.
Bro, you did because y'all rolled past me, bro. Bro, because that shit lame, bro.
Can I talk? Thank you. So that means that y'all was following.
I know my law, bro.
We saw you turn down 27th Street and then pull in.
Pull into my cousin's driveway, right? No, pull into my cousin's driveway, right?
Does not make your legal position stronger. It creates an inference that you are deliberately evading rather than standing on principle. Courts recognize the difference. One looks like a citizen asserting rights. The other looks like someone with knowledge of what they're evading. 4. YouTube legal education is not a substitute for knowing your state's specific statutes. Constitutional law is a floor, not a ceiling. State law often rises above that floor. You need to know both, or you will be blindsided by obligations you didn't know existed. 5. Cooperation creates options. Refusal creates precedent. Every word spoken on Bodycam is preserved.
Tonight.
The sheriff's. We don't know that.
Bro, alright, bet. And when I get in there, I'm killing myself, nigga. Fuck y'all. Don't put this up, bro. I don't need this, bro. Move, bro. No. And you not stronger than me, little nigga. I swear to God, you not stronger than me, bro. Fuck you over, nigga. No, fuck this, bro.
We had to wait, man.
Bro, I've been in here for 30 fucking minutes.
Well, trust me. They tell us when we can get you out.
Bro, I shouldn't even be in here, bro.
Are you gonna be showing us when we get you out?
What the fuck do you mean? I'm handcuffed in the cage. What the fuck choice do I have? You, come on, bro. You told you gave me your word you was gonna help me, bro.
I did it. You did not get charged with everything.
Every action taken during a stop is recorded. The moment you refuse to provide identification based on a constitutional argument you haven't fully thought through, you have created a permanent record of your legal reasoning. If that reasoning fails, and it often does when confronted with state law, that failure becomes evidence of consciousness of guilt, not vindication of your understanding. What aspect of this stop bothered you most? Was it the incomplete legal knowledge, the tactical error of breaking silence, or the moment David claimed he understood the law better than the officer? Drop your take in the comments. If this breakdown added something you didn't know about traffic stops in your state, hit like and subscribe. We're analyzing Bodycam every day.